Okay, now I'm apparently live streaming there, so I gotta tell Matt that. Okay. And maybe I'm not. How do I... live streaming? Yeah, it's streaming alright. Look at the chat here. Waiting to see if Mr. Matt's gonna say anything. Let me know. Yes, no, maybe... 0 watching, so he's not there yet. Audio should be alright. Typing something into the old Facebook here. Can you actually see though? Like, can you see and hear stuff? Like, can you also chat in the YouTube thing just to make things simpler? Okay, now I'm unmuted. Yeah, so if you could chat in the YouTube thing just so I can see, it'd make things a lot simpler. Please and thank you. I don't know if it sounds good or hear me, is something too loud? Start chatting away if you don't know what's you. Can you hear me, Matt? Can you hear the game? Can you see? Are you even here? I'd like to know. Can do see all that and hear all that, please let me know in the comments on the YouTube. You'd be able to hear the clickety-clats and a little bit of the music. If not, I can turn it up. I don't want to know if you're even watching right now. Can't really start playing unless I know you're there. Oh, sorry. Can you hear though? Can you hear anything I say? I'm not sure what to do then. Turn the bit rate down. Quite know what to do. I mean, worst comes to worst, I could stream it on Twitch and then we could just talk via Skype if you have Skype on your phone. Oh yeah, that was another idea too. If you can hear me, there's another idea too that Katzer and I had where if you were hankering for a game, we could actually play like Katzer did before. I think talk via Skype and play the Ghostbusters board game. Could be a thing. And here, uh, you can hear HEAR, like hear me, or you can do something at the location you're at. That's the fun. Oh, stretch. You know what? Until we figure out what's going on, I'm just gonna play my regular game. And you can watch. Oh, it's a little stop. There we go. Is everybody all right here? Oh yeah, one of my guys just recently died. No food, huh? Oh yeah, that's just because I moved the zone. Ton of energy. Turn that light. Of course, 4 degrees Celsius. Why? Have any air leaks? I don't think. Oh, it's going up, so it must have just turned on. Yeah, it's going up quite fast, actually. Almost ready to move everybody in. Uh, Nate's steel knife that he left there because he's dead now. Again, Matt, if you can hear me, I'm just fooling around with my main game until we figure out what's going on. I'm gonna need a new miner. I guess we have decent miners going at it. Okay. Okay, so it's warm enough in each of these rooms we can fit people in there. As hell in here. What does this guy have to wear? Hey, he's got a parka. He's all right. They're good. Keep this on because I'm gonna need it still. Everybody's going to sleep. Yeah. Can I can just turn this into a get away. Yeah, sorry I ruined your sleep. You can go over there. Are these rooms ready? No, the doors are open. Gonna have to move chunks, close those doors. Fast forward. Shit for now. Oh, Karen's up. Consuming simple meal. Alright, go eat. And no, you gotta haul this shit out of there. Don't have to bring it far. Just get it out of the friggin' doorway so the doors can close. And then go through the door. And will it close behind you? Yes, it will. Okay. Big hauling job here. Door closed. Alright, good. You're done. Awesome. So we can put those beds in there. And probably transfer it all tonight. Yeah, let's bring this first. These bedrooms are a little bigger, just because I think there's after the update there's a more stringent, like, I got a sucky bed, you know, system, or I got a sucky bedroom system rather. Which for a little while is going to be terrible because it's so dirty in these bedrooms. But at least we'll get our security system going. Yep, gonna be a big hauling job to get all this shit out of here. Yeah, I don't think I need this anymore. I can start dismantling shit. And I don't want to move my heaters just yet until I know for sure I don't need them. Like, I guess I can move this heater out. For sure. And deconstruct these things. What's going on? You can hear me? All good? Got a pet pig. Here now. Alright. I guess I'll just save this and go to the menu. I have permadeath enabled on all my stuff just because, you know, you want it to be challenging. Except when something happens that I couldn't have possibly known, like I mined out somewhere and then a whole fucking mountain fell on my guy and killed him. And I was like, okay, I had no clue that was even possible, so I switched it up. Not yet. Okay, good. Yeah, good. Okay, that's what I thought. So I'll go through. I had some mods that I use a little bit because some things in RimWorld are a little annoying. Like light takes a lot of energy compared to what it should. So I have an efficient light mod, so it doesn't like get rid of it, but it brings it down a significant amount so that it's actually feasible to light a thing later on, like a colony later on with light bulbs. But there was just recently an update, so a lot of the mods won't work, like the fuse one, which is really important for me, and hospitality, which is a great mod. So you can set up like a traveling area, and people will come and use your big rec room and drink beer and leave you presents and stuff. So I'm gonna leave that for now because it's obviously not even gonna work. And it's gonna apply the mod, I think. All right. So new game, new colony. Yeah, I'll look at Facebook for chat. So there's 3 different main ways you can start the game. I don't know if you can make a custom one or download one. Oh, scenario editor. Yeah, okay, whatever. But anyways, the main 3 are what you're probably going to play with for a while. So Crash Landed is the standard one. You start with 3 people. You start out with a basic understanding of like research topics. So you got electricity, so you can make lights and stuff right away, and heaters and things like that, and solar panels for energy. But you don't really have anything like high up there that will benefit you a lot right away. Like you can't make gun turrets that will automatically defend your area. So then there's 2 other ones that are sort of like extreme examples of one. So the Rich Explorer, you start with only 1 person, but you start with the research of gun turrets, so you don't need a whole lot of people right away. So it's basically, you know, less people to defend and work, but you start with gun turrets, and it's kind of neat. That's how I started my most successful one, with me trying to set up like a nice safe haven colony, and I died immediately. So I had a little shrine, like a little burial shrine in the middle, and people built the place in honor of me for my dream. The Lost Tribe is a difficult one too, where you start out with more people, but you start out like cave people, basically, and you have to learn this stuff. Like you have to learn about electricity and smithing and all that stuff. So it's a different type of challenge. But I'm gonna start with Crash Landed because that's the main thing. Here's where you select your difficulty and how the game's gonna run. You can change your storyteller, where like Cassandra Classic is what you're gonna start with, where things are gonna get harder and harder as they go. And it's going to be fair, quote unquote. If you just want to play the game and have a nice, easy time, then Phoebe you can go for. And then if you want just a completely stupid experience, go with Randy, because then it'll just throw random events at you, and it could be completely unbalanced. So we'll go with Cassandra. I like starting on rough. You can go lower if you want to make it a little easier. Permadeath mode, good. Now we go for our people. Who are our people? Oh, no, we don't. Turn the globe up a little bit. Okay. This is a new, basically, I don't know if you've ever seen, I think I gave you a link to Joel's Dwarf Fortress thing, where you actually have to render the world first, and it's this big square, and you can choose where you are and what the area is going to look like. A new addition to this one, like that's how it used to work in RimWorld for a while too, but a new addition to this one is it'll actually generate a 3D globe that you can look around, and there's the possibility of travel, I think, of going, like making caravans and letting people go to others, and actually having a new like map, like a a colony map, you can make multiple colonies, because it started off where you could only have like one little duke. Like if I selected this hex here, duke, that's where I'd spend the entirety of my game. But now it's implied, I haven't seen it just yet, where you could go to a different place and set it up. So all these colonies are different different communities for certain factions. So all these blue ones are the N2A Pan Global Pact. And all the blue ones are them. The skulls, the red skulls, are the Crabs of Struggle. The tents are the Confederation of Vecca. You know, these are all factions that you can, you know, a lot of them are going to be real mean to you. Some of them will be nice and trade with you. I don't really know what impact it has where if you're close to another faction or not. I'm guessing that in terms of being attacked, it's just going to happen no matter what, you know, or like in having visitors. So you'll have hostile visitors from, you know, these assholes, and you'll have neutral visitors from other assholes. And I don't think your proximity will matter that way. But if I chose like here, and I wanted to attack this faction here, it's going to take longer than if I were to just start here and attack that faction, I think. So for this case, I don't want to go Tropical Rainforest. I haven't played there yet, and I imagine there's a host of problems with like rot and everything being a little too hot. So I want to have a place that, okay, winter temperature, summer temperature. I want like a nice moderate place that has some hills that I can get some. Terrain is mountainous there, not too good. Small hills is good. It's going to get to around 0. Basically, the colder it is, the less time you have to plant for your crops, but also the more chance there's, like, if for extreme weather, the more chance it's going to get really extreme. So if this was like winter weather, yeah, winter weather is minus 53. That's already like a cold snap temperature. Whereas, you know, if I'm down here, winter temperature is 21. Very small chance of a cold snap that could really affect things a lot. But that's a random event that could happen that I don't want to get too far in. So let's go small hills. It'll get cold in the winter. Growing period is 40. Yeah, that's really good. So the first, as soon as it's spring until close to the end of fall is my growing period. That's a nice, you know, easy way. Small hills, so I got some stuff to mine out, and then we'll just go next. So now we got people. Now we get to choose, quote unquote, like the 3 people we have. This guy kind of sucks. This guy's a 41-year-old guy. He can't do a million things. The only things he can do, he's like kind of shit at animals, training animals. He's really good at social, and he's really good at artistic. This is a useless man right now. We do not want this guy. So we'll just we'll look at the other people first. A lot of these skills you can kind of guess what they do. Shooting, he's better at shooting. Melee, he's better at melee. Social is a bunch of different things, mainly your ability to convince prisoners to join you. So you're gonna get into fights, and you're gonna maybe capture some people if you want, and you can convince them to join up with you. You can also convince people to give you lower prices. It just happens automatically if you send this guy to a trader. What else? I think that's just about it. There's also the chance that you could improve relations if you have a certain mod intact, or a certain mod active. Animals, that's for basically training animals. So if you want to domesticate, or not domesticate, if you want to tame an animal, you can try to do that, and the higher his animal score, the better. Medicine, easy, just makes medicine. Cooking, I don't know what that really affects, like how fast or how well they cook, because as far as I've seen, there's no way for them to fail at cooking a meal. Just one second. So I'm assuming it's mainly just the speed, but it could also be, you know, you can get food poisoning, so maybe it's a less chance of food poisoning as their cooking gets higher. Construction's really important. Obviously, it's how fast they build something and how often they might fail at building something. So you do want a guy with high construction. Growing is how quickly they can grow crops. You want to hire growing so that, you know, there's a limit. Like anybody can plant potatoes pretty much, but not a whole lot of people can plant like a healing root. Mining is basically just how fast they can mine. Artistic is if they're at like a sculpture bench, how quickly and how well they can make sculptures. I hope there's other artistic stuff in the future, like painting and things like that. Crafting is pretty important too. Crafting is making all sorts of stuff like mainly weapons, components, armor, a whole bunch of things. It doesn't. Oh, that's also your tailoring too. You actually have to make clothes, so you want that pretty high. Um, not quite immediately, but it's going to come in handy later. Research is also not super important right away, I guess, depending on where you're starting. But that's basically how fast someone can research, and it has the effect of the quicker you research, the quicker you get your gun turrets or your geothermal plants, where you can pop them down on geysers and get steady energy. But it's also important for the end game. If you're playing for an end game and it's getting like stupidly hard, you want to have a high research guy to research all the way to get your ship and get the fudge out. So this person is decent. He's kind of middling the whole way. He's mainly going to be the construction guy. There's also a hidden thing here where, like, it's not a skill, but dumb labor, I think it's called. Let's see if anybody doesn't have it. Yeah, dumb labor. Dumb labor is basically hauling shit around and cleaning. And you're going to need people to haul shit around 100%, and you're going to need people who can clean. So Doug, he can haul shit around, but he can't clean. So, each person is randomized. You can't actually choose the skills. So you're going to have to try to randomize until you find something. You're never going to find something perfect. They're also going to come with a bunch of traits. So ascetic, he prefers to live in asceticism. He wants things simple. So his room has to be basically like nothing. He doesn't want an impressive bedroom. He dislikes fancy foods. He prefers to eat raw food. So he's a simple motherfucker. But if he gets a hand blown off, he's going to get a big negative if you decide to put a bionic hand on him. Psychically hypersensitive. There's going to be every so often like psychic drones that come on that really make people screwed up. So he's going to be bad for that. So overall, this guy's not going to be the easiest guy to work with, especially if he's in a lot of combat. And especially, he's melee combat. So he's getting in there down and dirty, and he's probably going to get hurt a lot. So I'm not 100% sure about this guy. Giggles. She's okay. She can do, the basic stuff. But she's basically going to be the medicine person, which, so far this isn't really a winning team. I got a constructor and a medicine person. Right off the bat, you definitely want a cook and a grower and person on construction. So let's start, and I hate this person. Beautiful. Exceptionally beautiful. With an exotic yet familiar facial structure and an arresting gaze. People are attracted to him before he even opens his mouth. So there's going to be a lot of people. There's social things going on here where people want to talk to each other. They'll have relationships which are positive or negative. So let's randomize till we get a good. Oh shit! This is pretty good. You'll notice though that the more skills and the better skills someone has, the older they are, which means that whenever it's like a birthday for them, they might have a chance of getting a negative trait like bad back, and so they move slower. Steadfast. Oh, she's mentally tough. Green thumb. Good for growing. Depressive though, so her mood effect is down. But I think this is a winning gal right here. Or it's a guy. Sorry, I don't know why I thought it was a gal. So let's name him Jason Rhineville. Type in here. Okay, type in there. And I'm gonna call him. Yay. I got gray hair. So I suck at fighting. Animals could be okay. Medicine I'm good at. So I got the doctor covered. I got growing covered. I got mining covered. I got crafting covered. And I have research covered. You generally want your researcher to be not dealing with a whole lot of other shit. So I might, he's good at crafting in a pinch. But you generally want your researcher to be researching all the time if you want to make steady progress to the end. But I can always take him off of that if I'm not worried about winning the game. Let's randomize. So we got that covered. I'm basically looking for a cooker and construction person, and the rest of the people good at fighting. So this is a nice, good all-around person, but it's melee. I prefer shooting overall to melee because melee is a mixed bag. Social's good. I don't have any social. I suck with people, so... construction's okay. Cooking, good. Mining, alright. Let's see about the last person here. What did I want? I want a constructor. So let's just see. Let's just keep randomizing until we get a good construction stat. Gonna take a while. Okay, okay construction stat. No real fighting though. So let's see about construction and shooting. Oh boy, all right. That's she's 75 years old. She's got cataracts. Her sight is terrible. Okay, it was good for a second there, but let's keep on going. Oh, here we go. 27 years old. Good shooting. Good construction. All right, awesome. Oh God, she's my ex-lover, so we currently hate each other. Okay, that's fun. Hard worker, good. Depressive again. So we got me and her. We're both depressive, so we're gonna be pains in the asses when it comes to our feelings. Basically, you want to keep people happy because if they're not, they'll get into some shit, and I'll show you that later. Good crafting, construction. We need a cook. Actually, this person's a cook, but he kind of sucks at shooting. Okay, let's look for a cook and shooting then. That's almost good there. Yeah, incapable intellectual. That's fine. A nudist, so she hates. We got to take her clothes off, or she'll start being shitty. Fast walker. All right, that's good. I think we got our crew. We had a miner, right? I don't think we need mining right away. Who do I call these people? They're both ladies though, so I don't want to like. I was gonna be like, there's Matt and there's Katzer. It's like, ex-lover. We'll just keep them. We'll keep them here for a sec. Bell and NG. All right, good enough. So let's start. Enough jibber jabber. Got any questions so far? The stream's still going good too. Three of you awake in your cry-sleep sarcophagi, sound of sirens and ripping metal. You barely get to the escape pods before the ship is torn apart. Sometime later, you land on this unknown wormworld. Pieces of the shredded starship fall all around you. You make your plans to survive. Well, this is nice. We're going to start in a little crook of a thing here. Okay, we just popped out with our dog. And you're typing something, so it's going well so far. Alright. So let's just take a quick look around, because before I build anything, I want to know where everything is. So these are mountains and rocks and stuff and trees, and this is big pieces of rubble you can carry around to craft. So everything you click on has, if you look down, I was going to point with my finger. Yeah, you can see that. If you look down to the bottom left over here, anything I hover over will give you information. So it's a poplar tree, 84% grown. You can click on it just to see, but it'll show all layers. So soil, walk speed is lit. It'll show here like rock roof, a lot of different bits and bops of the terrain here. There's a hunk of space debris that I could take out. Food. Okay, basically what I'm looking for is a geyser. There's one. Steam geyser. Those are important because that's your ticket for consistent energy. Because the main here, I'll just go to the architect quick. This is where you'll build all your stuff, and I'll just skip ahead to power. I'm thinking late game, just because. Let's say if I make a base here and I realize, oh shit, there's a geyser over here that I really want. Let's just pack up everything, go over here. It's not quite that simple just because it takes time to move everything, but it also, each time you dismantle something rather than just move it, you'll lose material. And, you could potentially live forever and get infinite material because you can trade for things, but it's always better to plan ahead for that type of stuff. So, let's just see. There's one geyser, let's say if I want to start in the middle of the map. There's a geyser here, there's a geyser over here. I just want to see which is far away. Do you happen to know the Steam sales to change price? I have no idea. I barely spend a lot of time on Steam. It's about the same. I kind of prefer this one. That's really close to the edge. There's a reason I'm being anal about this, and I don't want the Steam geysers close to the edge. Just because raids happen on the edge. Like, any enemy who's coming in, most of them at least, start on the edge and move in, and you generally don't want to have something too close to the edge because you might not be able to react to it. Anyways, you start with a lot of beginning material, like trees. I guess in the representation here, it's trees that have fallen over after you landed on them, and steel that's come from the sky. You got some silver to trade with, components you build with. Food. Okay, I got a survival rifle, a pistol, and a plastisteel knife. And basically, it starts off all, I don't know why it starts off like forbidden. You gotta unforbid all that stuff. So who's got the best shooting again? Okay, Amelia. I'm gonna right click, equip survival rifle. She'll go do that. Belle, she's okay at shooting. I'll give her the thing, and I'll just have a knife. It's a good knife, but I'd rather shooting. So I wonder what I should show you first. Let's just say I'll build my little place here. It's in the crook of a little mountain. Should work out all right. Basically, what's gonna happen is, instead of like clicking on J and then saying J and then start building up stuff like that, what's gonna happen is I'm gonna build a starting room just for us to sleep for the night. That's really important. So structure, wooden wall, and we'll just do the old. I don't want to go over here because that's nice fertile ground, and I'm not sure. Whatever. I'll just go over it. So 4 walls and a door, and furniture because we really need to have a place to sleep tonight. There's 3 beds, and once I unpause, basically that's what I'm building right now. Once I unpause, the only people who are going to work on this thing are going to be people who are listed as constructors. So the only person who's going to go build anything right now is NG. Once I unpause, she's going to first go do her little order there to pick up the gun, and then she's going to find whatever closest material there is to work on that, and she's going to start working. Now, I paused again just because these people aren't going to have anything to do. Jay is going to be the grower, so I'm going to get him working on food. Belle is the cook, isn't going to work right now, but I can put her on construction because she's got a decent enough construction score that's going to work out. Sometimes you don't want to put people who are really awful at construction on it because they can fail their construction. But here's the work tab. So we got jobs that are based on your skills. So tailor, smith, and crafting are all based on your crafting skill. So J and NG are good at that. We don't really need to do anything with that right so far. And then there's your hauling, your cleaning, which is important because we want to make a stockpile. So we'll go to our... Sorry about that. Basically, you kind of want to have materials where people can get at them. Like if you just keep them on the ground, wherever they are, it's going to be hard for people to get to it. So we're going to make a stockpile right there, and we'll just allow everything for now, so that whoever's hauling stuff will automatically put stuff in that stockpile. Once things get going, like let's say it's like, oh, there's just a good stockpile there, but I want my medicine closer by. You can make another stockpile in here, 2 squares, and you look at the storage tab here. Instead of having everything, clear it all, and then we'll look at where our medicine is. So medicine, there's subcategories of different better medicine. We'll just look at medicine overall for now. We'll say yes, medicine goes there. But if you look at here, like priority, normal. You click on here, priority, normal. So basically, if there's medicine about and people want to haul it to a stockpile, they're going to bring it to either one. It doesn't matter. But we want it here, If there's overflow, it would be okay if it goes into this one. But for now, we're going to put priority preferred. So if there's any medicine about, they're going to put that medicine here first, and then if that fills up, they'll put it to the other stockpile. So now she's going to build that with Belle, and I want Jay to get on food right away. Food's going to be really important. So I'm going to give enough room for us to, build outward, and I'm going to make. Generally, you really want. Oh, you know what? I could put it there because there's a way out there. This darker ground here is fertile ground, and you definitely want growing to go on there more than anywhere else. So how many orders can you give someone to follow in a row? You had to pick up a rifle and then start building. Well, that's I gave them a direct order there. So let's say if like she's on building right now, but if I give her a direct order, like let's say she was on hauling and a right click, is she on hauling? Yeah, let's say there's a steel slag chunk that I want hauled. I go haul things. and I go right click and prioritize hauling steel chunks. So she'll do that, and then she'll get back to her work order. I'm just going to do some growing with me, and then I'll talk about work order. So um, growing zone. I want a nice line of potatoes. It's just going to default to potatoes. Then I want a growing zone. Make sure I get over that. I don't want it there. That's fertility 70%. That's gravel. So I'm actually going to go back to my zone area and delete the zone that's on the gravel. That sucks balls. I'm going to make corn. And then growing zone. I can dip over to here just because there's regular soil over there. I'll do another big one of potatoes. And I'll do another zone of over here, and I'll turn that into rice. And then I'll do one last growing zone for food. I'll make it some berries, some strawberries. So now Jay is going to go do that, unless, here's where things get tricky. Here's the, basically, I'm going to take off manual priority right now. Basically, these are the jobs people do. So let's look at Jay. I want Jay to fight fires if he's available. I want him to, make sure he goes to a medical bed if he's hurt. He can be a doctor. That's one thing I didn't look at was medical stuff. But he's our doctor. I don't want him to cook and stuff. I want him to do this. What's going to happen is Jay, the character here, is going to look at his work order. And he says, is there a fire to fight? No. So I won't firefight. Am I hurt? No, I won't be a patient then. Is there someone else hurt? I'll be a doctor. Nah, there's no one here hurt. Am I tired? No. Okay, I won't bed rest. So basically, it's going to look through all these things in order and tick through them until he finds something he can do. And then it's, grow. Is there a plot, like a growing plot that needs to be sown or to harvest? And he'll say, there is. So if I unpause here, Jay's going to go, he's going to go growing now. Once he's done that, he's going to look, are there any orders to mine something? No. Smithing? Nah. Tailoring? Nah. Crafting? Nah. Hauling? Ooh, yes. If I say, because I said that I want, this is a stockpile zone, anything that's normally going to be moved, like survival meat, medicine, anything like that, he's going to say, okay, I'm done my work now, I'm going to go haul stuff. So it all goes on this thing here where it'll tick to more important to less important stuff. And then finally, when all of that's done, he'll research. Now, let's say we got enough haulers and cleaners to where, like, Jay doesn't need to haul and clean because there's a lot of other people to do it. I can undo those. I can even undo mining if I want someone else to mine. And so all Jay's going to do is grow, craft, and then if that's all done, he'll research. So that's a big part of this game, is finding out what your people are good at and prioritizing what they do. So, like you can see here, Smith, Taylor, Craft. Jay can do that, but I have Engie here. She's good at that too, so I can tick all that off, and she's going to be the one to do that. And she'll get to hauling and cleaning later. Belle, she's going to be the one to cook, and after she's all done, she's going to haul and clean. So we got that stuff working good. Does that make sense so far? So basically, if you have the automatic priorities, it's going to go from more important to less important all the way down. Yes, kitty cat. As you get more people, you can start specializing more to where, maybe Engie, all she does is construct and then haul and clean, and we have people who craft that can do that instead. So people will have their designated work areas. So basically, there's not really orders. Basically, whenever I click them to do something, like make sure you prioritize this area, you're just prioritizing it. You're not actually giving them orders. You're saying do that first and then get after whatever you're doing. Another important thing too is making sure you have enough wood to actually build stuff. So I'm going to look. I have it paused again. I'm going to look at these trees and I'm going to see. This one's 98% grown. Can chop that. Basically, I don't want to waste resources by cutting down little trees. I want them to grow as big as possible, and I want to cut down the trees that are ready to harvest or almost ready to harvest. So 5 poplar trees are easier to see. At least now I can see which ones are close to being. This one's, yeah, that one's good. So that's a work thing too, plant cut. So that involves harvesting, and it also involves just cutting down shit. So it's a skill-less thing to do. I think it's dumb labor, so anybody can really do it. So I'm just gonna let him get at it. Basically, all we really want right now for tonight is to make sure we have a place to sleep. That's the most important. We are gonna cut these trees down because they're in the way. You also, I'm doing it manually where I'm selecting each one. You can also go to Architect. This is where you find all the things you want to build. Ship components, not yet, but temperature, there's your heaters, joy, things to do for fun. But it also has the orders tab, which is, let's say there's a big section for mining and I don't want to click on each one. I can just say mine all that shit. And then whoever has the, mining selected, which I guess is going to be Jay. What do you want to get? Go away. Jay's going to go mine whenever he's done growing. I'm actually going to cancel that just because we don't need a lot of steel right now. You can see the difference. Like, this is just stone wall, this is steel. These are components. Compacted machinery you can turn into components that you need for more complicated stuff. Oh, Engie's being sick. She is vomiting. She's got space sickness still. Yeah. So we can actually, yeah, let's look at our people more closely now. So social, you can see that suicidal. Oh, is that the name of our dog? Our dog is named Suicidal. Okay. So here's her social. So ex-lover. Oh, we like each other now. It's a little bit better now. I thought it was going to be bad. Acquaintance. So this is how much she likes a person in this tab, and then here this how much they like her. So you can see who's going to fight, who's not going to fight. They will have social fights every so often. They'll beat each other and they'll have to go to the hospital because they got some bruises. It's never life-threatening, but it's a pain in the ass. So if you have people that are consistently being assholes, you can, make sure that their work is going to be in a different place. So we'll just keep things going a little bit. I'll keep it going, and I'm going to go feed the cat. So be right back. Okay, I'm back. Got a bad feeling about suicide. That's a good reference if that was. I got it. Jay's planting around. I gotta cut they'll automatically cut trees that are in their way if they're growing something or building something. Oh, what do you want, cat? So basically, here's my main thoughts on strategy is I start with a single room that I use as a barrack. But you'll see that, oh yeah, sorry, I was looking at people's stuff. So social, gear, it shows their armor. Basically, they're just wearing clothes right now, so this is their resistance just being a person with clothes on. She's got a knife. If you want to hit the eye thing on the knife or anything in the game, it'll give you information. So, quality, beauty, blah, 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 blah. Melee damage, melee cooldown stuff. What if I hit I on J? Oh yeah, you can get overall looking at J here if you hit your if you hit the information button there. This stuff here is going to be pretty important because you do want people to have clothing for the weather, and you also want proper armor. But shit deteriorates. I don't know. Nobody has any deteriorated clothes yet. So once Jay's, like, just with normal wear and tear, Jay's clothes are going to get screwed up. So you'll have to make or buy more clothes. If he's wearing shitty clothes, then his needs are going to get all screwed up. We already looked at character stuff, so I'm going to skip over to... Wait. Oh, I'm looking at someone else. I thought Jay. We'll go over to needs. So this is one of the really important character things that you need to look at. Health is pretty self-explanatory. We don't really need to get into it right now. But needs, you see your overall mood. If this is showing where I'm at right now. I'm about half. I'm doing okay. If I go below this little tab, I could get into a what's called a minor break. So I could, I could be dazed. I could walk around sad, anything like that, or I could pig out on food. If it goes below here, I could have a major break, which is worse stuff, and then an extreme break, which Jay's pretty good. Wait, hold on, is that a character thing? Steadfast. Oh, I'm good too. Mentally tough. So an extreme break is where you start trying to kill people, basically, which is, important to keep people above that. My cat's crying, wants to go outside maybe? Hold on one sec. Gotta put the phone away. It's ringing like a motherfucker. So you can see here, a lot of things contribute to your overall mood. You got your basic food, which you need to live, but also keep your spirits up. And you can see these. It won't affect anything until it ticks off here. That's when you're starting like, oh, okay, I'm hungry. You're like hungry, urgently hungry, and then when it's done, starving. Rest also, tired, very tired. When it's all done, you pass out. Joy is important too, so just being around, like having fun things, like relaxing socially, is just them sitting around, oh, I'm relaxing. That counts as fun. Taking a walk counts as fun. Cloud gazing, stargazing counts as fun. But you might want to put things like horseshoe pin or, chest thing around there so they can keep that up. Beauty is how nice everything looks. Comfort is how good they feel. If they sit for a while, they're more comfortable. And space is how cramped things are. All of that affects their overall mood and what they feel. So beauty's pretty low. He's got an ugly environment penalty, which is -5. You can't do much about that for a while. He's going to be out in the wilderness and looking at shitty stuff. They will rest on their own. That's actually here, bed rest. Resting to recuperate from not immediately life threats. Oh, no, that's the medical problems. Oh, I see. So that has to do with her. Yeah, they will rest automatically. Even if there's not a bed, they'll just fall down and sleep wherever they can. They will get a penalty for sleeping outside or sleeping without a bed, type of thing. So they will go to rest on their own. Funny you mentioned that. I'll just finish with the character tab here, and I'll show you something else. Depressive, that's a permanent penalty that Jay has. So Jay's going to be a son of a bitch to keep happy. Feeling terrible, you get feeling terrible or feeling good is just I think it's just to represent random fluctuations in mood. So I got a -8 right now because it just, for no apparent reason, I feel like an asshole. In a little pain. Ow, that hurts. Why? For some reason, scars give you pain. I don't understand why. I don't know. I also don't know how to get rid of that other than amputating my arm and leg and giving myself bionics. So, that's going to be fun. You were talking about sleeping automatically. That's there's a lot of tabs here. One of the things is restrictions of their time. So, let's say you have a person who, basically sleep. I can tell them when to sleep. I can make them sleep all day. Don't want them to do that though. So basically, you can time their sleep. This comes in handy when, let's say, it's really farting hot out, and you don't want them outside in the heat during the day. You can force them to work during the night and sleep during the day. If someone is a night owl and they like to work during the night, then you can make sure they sleep during the day, work during the night. You can make sure if someone is doing not so well mentally, you can give them mandatory, a long time for happy stuff. Mostly, though, you can get away with letting people sleep 8 hours, and then during the day, just let them do whatever. And this whatever thing is when they'll go through their list of work. You can also tell them where they're allowed to go. You can if you go to architect zone area, you can make an allowed area and just select this is the only place you're allowed to go. And then when you want to restrict things, you can say, Jay, you're only allowed to go to area 1. That's it. You stay there because for whatever reason. Allowed area for home. Home is a default one wherever you build is your home. So you can plan stuff like shift changes with the sleep schedule. Sort of. I mean, I actually don't. I've never tried to make someone work during the night when they're not a night owl. I don't know what the immediate benefit is. Maybe if you have a work, I guess you could save on materials. Let's say you only have one workstation for a certain thing, and you have 2 people who could do it. You could say I only got this one component creator to make these high-tech components, but I got 2 people who can do it. You could say, okay, one guy you're on night shift, and the other guy you're working day shift. So you can just do it that way, and then that way you get you get double the components while using the same amount of electricity while making, while having only one section, like one station. So that is a good idea. I didn't even think of that. It could also be a way to keep people out of each other's way. So let's say me and NG start hating each other, and we have a nice big compound to work in. I could say Jay, I could put Jay on night shift, just so he doesn't really run into her as much. So that's definitely one way you can do it. Assign tab is basically, I don't use this too much unless you can basically, let's see, current outfit, anything, worker, soldier, nudist. So if I want Jay to, people will automatically put on clothes too. So if there's just a piece of armor lying around, Jay will probably, like, if I have him on anything, Jay will just go up and like, oh shit, armor, I want that. He'll put it on. But if there's only like so much good armor to wear and Jay's never getting into fights, I'll say, no, you just want to be a worker. Or if I do have a soldier, I want to be a soldier or a nudist. Ah, shit, somebody is a nudist. Hold on. Yeah, it is you. So, Belle, I'm going to make her be a nudist. There's no reason not to unless it's fucking cold out, which it isn't just yet. And because it doesn't even affect what people do. I'm also going to make sure there's another training for animals too, or another tab for animals training. So I want him to be obedient and to haul. We're going to run into problems where, because I put obedience, whoever's training him, whoever is his master, whenever they go into fight mode, he's going to come and just sit by them and get shot. Animals, basically I can, just at a glance tell people what they can train the animal on and where they're allowed. So if I don't want the animal going anywhere, I guess I could just like say, stay at home. You can't go out and fight, stay at home. What else? History tab is not a whole lot. World tab. Oh, we got a world tab now. I can see. Oh shit. Form caravan. Alright, that's neat. This is new for me. I'm gonna get out of there though. Factions, don't really need to do that right now. Everybody's still a working. There's a... Oh, here, hair. I wonder if I can just... no, I don't want to do it just yet. Meat is not the best thing to get, like, at the very beginning, just because you don't want to eat raw meat. You have to have a kitchen and, facilities ready. So I don't want to hack them up just yet. Oh, Al's going to give me a message. I might be going to Al's just to give him some presents. Or he might be coming out here, I'm not sure, so... I might have to cut this short if I can go today, just because I want to get my shit in order. Oh, Belle already automatically took off her stuff and put it in the area here. Here's another thing about stockpiles. Click on the wood, deteriorating due to being unroofed. If you just leave shit out in the open in the elements without a roof being over them, they'll deteriorate. So for important stuff like wood isn't too bad, but this stuff I want to keep as quality for as long as I can. So Christmas is cancelled. Copy. Actually, I don't need to copy that. I'm going to make a new stockpile zone just around the beds. I'm going to make it storage preferred, so we'll take it out of here, and I'm going to clear everything except for apparel. So if anybody has clothes, I'll just stick it there for now. Oh yeah, also I want to... People will build roofs automatically, but because I'm not putting a floor right away, I just want to make sure for sure they're going to put a roof there. What's NG doing? Oh, NG's eating and then she'll get back at it. Okay, still doing that. Any other questions so far? This takes a little while to get going on. It definitely was difficult when I first started. I had a lot of people dying. You see there was a little icon that represented them having a nice chat. They could also pass by each other and insult each other. So, and then they'd probably get negative stuff here. See, happily nude, a whole 20. That's why I really want her to stay. Do her, you do you. If they pass each other and insult each other, they'll get negative to their happiness, and they'll probably have a worse relationship with the person. So you might want to split people up for that reason. You also have your learning helper. It'll tell you about a bunch of different things. We'll just let it keep going for now. It'll keep going, and then if everybody exhausts all of their all of their potential work, like if Bell at the very end says, okay, there's nothing to haul, there's nothing to clean, they'll go idle, and then you'll get a definite little like thing there. You have workers idle. Is there a person limit to how many? No, there is absolutely no person limit, as far as I can tell. Um, the problem is that the more people you have, like people have been trying to determine like what's the soft limit, which is basically like if you reach this soft limit of like 12 people, I think it's rumored to be, then the AI does almost everything it can to exterminate, to cull the pack. So they'll send like even more people out. So, but I've had like upwards of 15, maybe up to 18 in my other successful one. But because I had such a monstrous fortress, it was really hard for people to actually get at me. So it's just a soft limit. There's no real hard limit as far as I can see. And if I actually have to go out and do stuff, I can just I'll save this automatically and I can stream it later because it seems to be working all right now. You can click on her. She's training the dog. She's giving the dog some berries to be nice. Ooh, I was in the hospital. Oof. Gallbladder stuff. Oh, that's fun. Suicidal has gotten food poisoning from berries. Oh, good. Renewable food. That's basically this. This I'm planting it without using any resources, and it'll always just grow. So you never have to worry about that. Animals repeatedly just spawn in sometimes, so you can keep hunting for animals. Basically, you can hunt the map to extinction, and then it'll slowly repopulate from the edges. So you do want to kind of keep it down a little bit. So one of the things I did in one of my previous ones was I didn't need the animals right away for food, but what I did was tame them, and then during the winter I'd slaughter them. You can breed animals, yeah. If you tame these muffalo, which is tough, I hear, you tame them, you keep them in the same area, they will breed. So it is and you can actually shear their wool. I think llamas are good for shearing their wool, and it's definitely a viable thing. Also, if you want to ever make certain types of food, like a lavish meal or a fine meal, which gives people bonuses to mood, then you have to have a component that's other than vegetarian. So you need to have meat in it too. So that's important. I'm just gonna type that out quick. One sec, sorry. Here we go. Saving the trip or not. Okay. Any other questions? Because I'll probably not sure what else to ask. Oh yeah, lots to take in, but it does look neat. Yeah, it's really fun because you get to see like I just love this mood system where this if he goes in here, this sucks right now. Oh yeah, I gotta make more here because if he eats, watch this. Hold on, where's his mood thing? Watch what happens if he eats right now. Gonna go up, munch, 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 and when he's done, ate without table. He ate a fine meal, which counteracts it, but he ate without a table, which is bad. So we're actually going to go to furniture. If you just yeah, click on the table, make sure it's wood. Put it right there, and chairs, a couple chairs. So there's that. Also, if they're in here, it's going to be completely dark, so we're going to put a torch lamp just there for now, uses wood, and whoever's going to be building will go after that. So Engie's currently in the middle of chopping a tree because she didn't have anything to build. As soon as she finishes that, I think she's going to go straight to building that stuff without me really telling her what to do. So it's partly, you know, automatic. And it's done. Yeah, she's going to take, yeah, she's going to build it. I will go into, this is just manual priorities. I always do, or sorry, this is automatic priorities. I go to manual priorities where I can actually tell people to do things in reverse order. Like if I all of a sudden think that, Jay, you know, mining, you know, mining is more important than growing, and I want you to do that before you research anything. I can tone down growing and research to where, you know, he's going to go through his regular stuff. He's going to mine first, then he's going to grow and research, you know. So because it's the fourth most important thing. So that's a tool that I found out later on that's really helpful. And if, you know, if everything's just disgusting, there's vomit and blood everywhere, I can say, oh no, you're cleaning first, and then once you're done cleaning, then you go through your order. So that's another way to order your work priorities. Every time I stream, I'm stuffed up. I don't know why. Ugh. There's a bear. I don't think grizzlies will attack you, but sometimes if you're around certain predators, they will attack you. Like even if you don't try to hunt them or tame them, you're around a panther, he might just start attacking you. Raccoon. Doo-doo. I'm also going to make a floor here. Once they're done, I got the important stuff done. Then they'll make a floor out of wood. Should probably cut more trees. 91% is good enough. 7163. 5's good. It's helpful too. Like if I'm making stuff out of wood, I have all of these you know, orders to chop wood. Once they, you know, once they stop constructing, they'll go pick up some wood. But what if they try to construct something and there's not enough wood for it? Well, they'll just go down to their next most important thing, which is probably cutting plants, which they'll do, and then they'll realize, oh shit, I have stuff to build with. I'll go build with it. There, now I have some light in here. Is it roofed? Yeah, it's roofed. Okay. Table's built. She'll go get some more wood for... oh, the floors now. You can see they're getting a little bit more tired. Probably sleep automatically. Jay's still plugging away. Jay can't research without a research station. I'm going to have to build that later on. After this, what I make is... because this is deteriorating too, my food. I'm basically going to be surviving on berries and chopped up meat for a little while. So I'm going to be building a kitchen and... oh, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to order them to mine out this area a little bit. Mine out that and smooth that out. And what I'm going to do is here is going to be my food area, and here is going to be my kitchen. And I'm going to make some doors so that, similar to Dwarf Fortress, Gnome Fortress. Now, yeah, Dwarf Fortress is what Joel was playing from Vine Sauce. It's really similar. I don't want to say it's dumbed down. It's a really well made game. It's like streamlined. It's a streamlined Dwarf Fortress where there's no real layers that you can go up or down, and there's far less depth and clutter to what you're doing. But the most important thing for me is just the way you move around and the ease of the interface. Ooh, look at all that puke on the ground. Vomit of Engie times 1. Vomit of Engie times 3. Someone's sick as hell. Ooh, a hiccup. So yeah, almost always I start my game now with my barracks, then I make an adjacent food area and kitchen area so that you can easily go in, pick up a packaged bit of food, or you can go into the food storage area is close to my farm area, just to make things a little easier. And then after a while, when I make individual rooms, because right now I think people are going to be people will eventually be salty that they don't have a separate bedroom. This turns into my dining room after a while. That's my starter thing, and then after that, I figure out what the hell I'm going to do. Oh, I guess I should also show you. Like, people are doing things, like, the closest I can get to making them directly do things is right-clicking on something they could possibly do, like prioritize hauling medicine, because, you know, it's gonna get shitty out there, so I'm gonna make her do that. That's a sort of direct thing I can make them do, but it's still based on orders. But I'm gonna click on someone else and draft them. This is your military. I want you to do exactly what I want type of thing. They can't do work, but they can do anything that's military. Like they can go to specific spots, shoot people. There is a cover mechanic in this game, so you do want to position people behind a tree. You know, is one of the things. Like if I click on or a chunk of granite, like if I click on here, cover effectiveness 40%. Chances are you want. Oh, I wonder if this has cover effectiveness. No, you want people to make sandbags to get in behind, and then that way they can stand behind there, shoot at people, stuff like that. Al says it's okay if I go over, so I'm not sure. Yeah, I think I might take the time to go get some liqueur and then go over to Al's quick to deliver some presents because as you saw, I wrapped them up a bit. I want to see what the kids say. Hopefully Al's not listening. I doubt he is. Okay, so yeah, that's basically it. I'm not sure if you have any more questions or because I'd start. It takes a while. Like I'm gonna have to wait. Okay, everybody might be going to bed now. Yeah, bedtime. Does he have salty feel? Yeah, awful barracks. So the place he's sleeping in is terrible. It's vomit everywhere. Um, shared bedroom. He doesn't like that. Who wants to share a bedroom? So all these minuses will really compound each other. So you want to get them into their own room as quick as possible. That's about it. So I could make orders for the day like structure. I don't have a whole lot of wood though, but let's say I wanted to make, this is going to be my walk-in freezer type of place. Put a door here, door there, and then I can make another wall there and there. That, and I can make production like a fueled stove. It's basically a wood stove. And then a butcher table right there, and then make another door there. So what I do is I would make another stockpile in here for food, and even maybe make a stockpile area here closer that has meals in it. So if people, you know, this is how the production line would work. Harvest things, put them in here. The cook takes the stuff out of here, cooks it, makes a meal, stuffs it there, and then everybody who wants to eat, oh, I'd have to move the table a little bit. Anybody who wants to eat would crawl across the table and then go through the door, pick up food, and then sit down and eat. So it's a little streamlined that way. With where you're set up, can the enemy only come in from the front? Is there a way for them to go through the hills? There are a number of different types of raids. The most common are there's a raid coming from people, they're attacking immediately, or there's a raid coming from people and they're waiting for a bit and then attacking. And then they'll try to find the easiest path to get in. And the most they'll do is try to break a door, which they can do without any weapons. But then you have the people who are sappers, and what they will do is they will actually mine straight through rock to get to your place. Sometimes they'll mine rock, sometimes they'll throw grenades at walls and stuff like that, so they will actually come through. So you want to have, you know, some thick walls between you. Like if you're hoping that these walls will protect you around here, you want to make sure that they're thick enough that this is pretty good, by the way. This is a decent thickness where you can lead your people out, you can draft them, bring them around, and start shooting at the people that are trying to blow through. There are also, if you mine and rock, let's say if I mine this out and I have a little colony in here, there's a random event that happens where giant bugs will just spawn there randomly, and you'll have to take them out. Those are the worst. There's also one where it's really rare, but there will be like space troops that'll, like, you saw those cargo pods that came down. They'll come down in cargo pods and they'll, like, as close to your, as long as it has open areas, like without a roof, I think, and they'll just like, we're here now. So that's fun. There are also people who will be really far away and start mortaring your compound. Now, if you have an overhead mountain above you, like if I dig far enough and there's an overhead mountain, they won't be able to get in. But if I just have roofs on there, they'll just blow the shit out of it. So there's a lot of different things you can do that way. There's a lot of, sorry, I can't talk. There's a lot of different ways they can come at you, but mostly, if you just have one area, one point of access, they're going to be coming through there mostly. I'm actually going to stop the stream now, and then I can stream more. I can actually show you, like, later different things, like the place I'm building right now and my ideas behind it, or further on. But this is how I make a settlement to start. I'll start making different rooms for different people. I think another really important thing is to have a prison. It has to be an enclosed room with a bed. Like, here's what I'll do. If I go for prisoners, turning on prisoner mode affects the whole room. So this is now a prison. No other bed that's like a regular bed people can sleep in can be in there. So I eventually want to make a separate building that has a prisoner bed in there, so I can capture a prisoner who's downed. Like, if I shoot them but they're not dead, they'll be downed. I can capture them and then eventually recruit them. So I just want to go and check some stuff, and maybe later tonight I can show you some more. I can show you my big new area that I'm making. But if you got any more questions, I'll be back in a sec. I just might have to go out for a little bit, so because the liquor store closes, I don't know when. So I'll